What we doing? We doing? What we
Got a
doing?
pile of clothes you never wear anymore? Sells, the buyer covers shipping. And with zero seller fees, you keep every dollar you. More money in your pocket.
Preacher and his guys.
Listen, man. Damn, I have to do a lot just to get it going sometimes, man. Woo, if you only knew. It ain't easy as it looks, y'all. I promise you, none of this stuff. They be having difficulties, technical difficulties. You got to start over. You got to do all like y'all be thinking it'd be sweet. You can just hit the button and go and do this. Everything just don't be. Everything don't work as you think. When you're outside looking in, I'm just starting this video off this way, y'all. When you're outside looking in, you think it's sweet. You think it, oh man, they can do it. Man, you can. I can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Like nah, you gotta learn this shit, man. Excuse my language. I gotta stop cursing when I'm doing live. Man, that's another thing. It's helping me to not curse. This video today, people, for the people who is tuned in.
45 homicides.
The people who is tuned in to this video.
Preacher and his.
This is about the preacher. Black Hand. You know, I did this before. It wasn't this video, and I got copyrighted. So that's what I be telling y'all. And this one you have to deal with when you do reactions. So preacher, Clarence Heatley, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the worst coming out of New York City in the 80s. Around the time Mitch from the movie Paid in Full, which we most of us seen, his little brother got kidnapped, and Preacher was the dude that had something to do with it, along with his uncle, the uncle of them. So the uncle presented the whole kidnapping to Preacher, and Preacher ran with it. So this is really some of the story of it, and we're gonna dig into it. We're gonna check it out right quick. Just walk with me. I'm gonna have my little commentary with it and how I think about what we're watching, and that's how we're gonna do it.
Involved with 45 homicides.
He is an evil person. He showed zero remorse.
He's not a gangster. Monster is a better fit.
Clarence Heatley is one of the most savage gangsters to ever come out of New
Clarence Heatley. I don't know if I said that the first time.
York. Heatley, better known by his nickname, Preacher, was described by police as a psychopathic killer who blurred the lines between gangster and serial killer. Preacher ran his gang, the Preacher Crew, like a cult. He was really like a black version of Charles Manson. Preacher was the unquestioned leader of the crew and would order murder, like you and I would order a pizza. That's also how he...
And that's crazy how he just said that. He would order M-U-R-D-E-R. Like he would order pizza. That is insane. What the... That goes to show you, when we have law enforcement, it really don't mean anything, y'all. What do they really mean? They're not doing... What are they really doing?
His other nickname,
They be in
the
on
Black
it.
Hand of Death. His crew would kidnap rival drug dealers, bring them to a dungeon they had set up in a dirty basement, and then torture them. The Preacher Crew kidnapped anybody, ranging from drug dealers to their family members. If you've seen the classic Hood movie, Paid in Full, it was the Preacher Crew who actually kidnapped Church Porter's younger brother. They even allegedly kidnapped singer Bobby Brown. But once they got their victims, the crew would hold actual trials in that torture dungeon, voting together whether to kill a victim, with either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And once a victim was killed...
Speaking of thumbs up and thumbs down, hit that thumbs up. Please. Hit the like button. Watch more than just one video, you guys said. I know it's a billion videos, but trust me, you're going to like multiple videos that I have. I have different sections: live, uploads, shorts. I have animal voice. I did documentaries. I can't do documentaries all the time because it takes too much of my time and I'm not getting paid. Once I start getting paid, then that's when it's gonna start coming. So I'm trying to get the watch time hours. Please, if you guys want to help the channel grow, you gotta watch more than what video you like. Watch something else. I have over 1,000 videos.
A special group in the crew, known as the quote-unquote janitors, would come in and clean up the so-called mess. To be a janitor in the preacher crew, you had to have killed before. It was considered a prestigious position, and most of the janitors had a special tattoo.
And they got that from the mob. So the Italian mob, or whoever, I will say, I'm not gonna just say them, but that was more of a mob style where you have, I mean, what movie showed it best? Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction showed it best. When John Travolta and Samuel Jackson's character had to get all that blood off them, and they had to make some calls, and then there's a guy that'll come clean all that up and tell you what to do, how to get rid of everything. Like, that's some real, that people don't even realize that is real. Most people they don't want to believe that. Like, nah, that's just the movies.
On their shoulder, the janitors would tattoo the image of a mop with a bucket of blood. There's even a story that's been confirmed by multiple members of the crew where they once killed someone, dismembered his head, took it to the roof of the apartment building, and then kicked it around like a soccer ball.
Kicked it around like a soccer ball? Do you know how much mental illness you have to be doing something like that? Like, you have to be really into what you did. Like, they done did it so much that it's nothing to them. That's crazy, man. That's what I be trying to tell y'all. These shorties today, all the little bees y'all all what y'all be doing to people is nothing. That is the easiest thing to do, is to grab a gun and pull the trigger, and something comes out of it to harm and take the life of another person. But when you grabbing somebody and you're cutting limbs and all this crap, you doing all this. I don't even know some of the words I can't even use because of YouTube's guidelines. Like, though they was being done, like, people was dismembering people for years, long, all the way back. Now everybody using a gun mostly. So back then was way more vicious, man.
Like I said, the preacher crew were really just serial killers, moonlighting as gangsters. It was their unmatched levels of violence, and the fear they struck into people's hearts, that allowed them to dominate the streets of New York. So, let's get straight into this.
And this is what we're going to do too. While I'm doing this, we're going to, let's see, how can I do this? We're going to get this notification out. Oh, man. I don't know what that is, but we're going to, damn, I can't even do it. All right. Forget it. Damn.
Let's get straight into the story of Clarence Preacher Heatley, a certified savage. Clarence Heatley was born in Harlem in the early 1950s. Although not much is known about his early life, he spent much of his 20s in and out of jail for various crimes, ranging from larceny to robbery. Heatley was a physically intimidating man, standing tall at 6'7" and over 260 pounds. So, if he wanted something from you, he had a bad habit of just taking it. However, he relied on more than just brute force to get what he...
Yeah, I gotta show some more images or something. That's crazy, bro.
They all secretly prayed to God, hoping that it would keep going. A preacher's reign of terror would officially start in 1983. That's the year that the preacher crew is believed to have been born. The preacher crew is now notorious for being one of the most violent and psychopathic crews that...
Hey, hit that like button. Whoever came in here, hit the like button. We're talking about preacher. I hate this video though because it's not showing much images, and I got copyrighted for trying to react to another preacher video, and they had a lot of images in it. So this is all this dude's showing is
New York has ever seen. At its height, it consisted of 25 to 50 members, including Preacher's own son and daughter. In addition to being its namesake, Preacher was also its unquestioned leader, and he ran it like a dictator. preacher placed a strict code of
So
rules
look,
on.
this is what we gonna do then, y'all. Watch this. Give me 2 seconds.
To DC. But here's the thing about the streets. They've got a long memory. In the early hours of November 7th, 1991, the FBI and DC police finally closed in on him. Then came December 19th, night of death. In 19, but on the streets, people didn't call him that out of respect for any sermon. No, they knew him as something far darker, the Black Hand of Death.
Dang.
In 1983, Heatley pulled together a crew that would go down in Harlem's underworld history, the Preacher Crew. This wasn't some ragtag bunch. It was a stacked roster. John Big Cuz Cuff, Derek Hailstock, Paul Nutsy Weller, Raymond Jerry Woo Jackson, and others. At first, they moved white powder through the city, quietly and under the radar, but it didn't take long before they expanded into crack, heroin, and PCP. Drugs weren't their only hustle either. They kidnapped rivals, extorted dealers, and handled problems with deadly...
So they basically kidnapped all the drug dealers and whoever else, but they was the worst of the worst because they had an actual mob team, just like the mob would have, where you got a janitor. You got the janitor to come clean up whatever mess you made. Huh? Come on now. What's that movie, Pulp Fiction?
Precision. Under Heatley's leadership, the crew turned into a multi-million-dollar empire. Dealers were paying him $20,000 to $30,000 just for the privilege of being left alone. On top of that, the kidnapping side of the business alone was believed to pull in around $1 million a year. They even worked as hired killers for other gangsters, charging $5,000 a hit, only to sometimes turn around and rob or kill the very people who paid them. Because in preaching...
Wow. Come on, man. The crazy of the craziest. Hit that like button. Could you do that for me? Hit the like button. Hit the like button and then hit the like button. Please, whoever's watching, hit the like button for me.
Eyes, anyone who needed someone else to handle their dirt was weak. One of Heatley's most trusted men was John Big Cuz Cuff, a former cop from the New York City Housing Authority Police Department. They first crossed paths in 1983 when Cuff was still on the force, but already moonlighting for Heatley as a driver and muscle. After a robbery arrest and a failed drug test, Cuff was suspended. Not long after, he beat a murder charge in Baltimore when a witness switched their story. By then, he was already Heatley's bodyguard, enforcer, and, as some on the street put it, his personal assassin. Cuff...
Wow. Now I have to pause the video to give my commentary to change the video so I don't get copyrighted. This is how I do when you do reactions. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This dude was the worst of the worst in the 80s in New York. Around that time, that city was way worse than what it is. It was worse than Chicago in the 80s in New York.
Was known for strangling his targets, something he reportedly enjoyed. Alongside men like military veteran Anthony Boatwright, Cuff helped Heatley run the streets with no real limits. In New York's criminal ecosystem, they were apex predators. The Preacher Crew operated under strict rules: no snitching, no fighting each other, no stealing from the crew, and no drugs for personal use. Breaking those rules brought swift and brutal punishment: beatings, lashings, and sometimes execution. Heatley ran his crew with an iron grip, personally making sure punishments were carried out when someone stepped out of line. His main turf was around 144th and 8th Avenue in Manhattan, but he also owned an apartment building on the Bronx's Grand Concourse.
Now look at that. This dude, he got the money to have a building. That's how he even got away with all this, because he had a whole building was his, including the basement where they basically took you away from this earth. Turned your TV off, like Hassan Campbell, and rocked this snot, but they rocked a lot of snot boxes and turned a lot of people's TV off.
A place with a far darker purpose. Down in its basement, people were tortured, and some never came out alive.
See what I'm saying?
By the 1990s, he'd shifted his base to another Bronx apartment building, this time living there with his girlfriend. On the surface, he looked like just another landlord running a legit business. In reality, it was the command center of his crack and cocaine empire, which hit its peak
See, what y'all don't understand, hold on, let me get
from
it out there.
1990 to 1996. Known to some as the Family, the crew truly was a family operation. Heatley's son, daughter, and girlfriend all had their...
So
Now,
look,
Richard Tom...
so look, damn man, this was Mitch, y'all. This was who Mekhi Phifer played. Damn. And because of the preacher. He is the reason. And then I wish they showed more pictures of his uncle, man. Uncle what was his son? What was his uncle name? Damn, I forgot his name. It wasn't Sonny. I think the shorty name was Sonny. He bogus, man. That uncle one crap, man. I wish I could pull that picture. I could do it, but I don't feel like tampering with the ratio of the video. So hit that like button.
Porter was born on November 10, 1964, to Velma Porter in Harlem, New York City. The oldest of 3 children with a sister named Patricia and a brother named Donnell, he grew up in the legendary Sugar Hill area on Harlem's west side. From early on, Rich, as most people called him, was built for the hustle. At just 9 years old, he was already making his own money bagging groceries and selling newspapers. By 12, he was hustling, selling marijuana joints for $1 and running a clever little scam, passing off eggs and sage as...
And look, this is what I'm gonna tell y'all. Today, okay, you may have some hustles out here, but it's never like how it used to be. You know, you may have some whatever, but it'll never be like how it was in the 70s, 80s, 90s. I don't think so. I know it still exists because I see them, the zombies that be walking around. So, but it'll never be there because you don't see presence outside. It was more of an outside thing. So I guess people trap houses. We didn't grow up that way. My era, we didn't grow up that way. You have to get it outside. So, man, it was a whole nother world than what it is now. Now I'm gonna go DoorDash and Grubhub and make videos and all. Man, come on.
Hash. At 16, he rolled up in his very first car, a BMW. Soon he moved on to selling powder cocaine with the flashy brand name Much Better, posted up on the corner of 145th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. Later, he teamed up with a dealer named L.A. Kilos of cocaine a day, chopped down into $10 deals. Business was booming so much, they started running operations out of storefronts, pulling in over $100,000 every single week. Ozzy even opened his own arcade, the Jukebox, right on 145th Street. Meanwhile, Rich and Alpo were out flexing and matching Porsche 944S. And Rich, he kept his signature move, never wearing the same outfit twice. But with all that flash came danger. The smartest dealers bought houses far from the city, keeping their business.
Man, bro. Hey, man. It'll never be those days again. So we're gonna get to him though, right here, because that's really what it was about. And damn, that's messed up. See how it go too. You hear the stories of the guys that be taking lives, and then they end up the same way.
Cut deep, calling Porter a man he loved like a brother. That betrayal cemented his fall. In the end, he got 35 years in federal prison and disappeared into witness protection. But as for Heatley, it didn't take long for his drug empire to start crumbling. The law was closing in, and cracks were forming inside his own crew. His whole operation ran on fear: drug dealing, extortion, and a trail of bodies in their wake. That kind of heat was bound to bring the FBI and NYPD to his doorstep. And when they came hard. They leaned on informants, including one of Heatley's own former enforcers, Stanley Squirt McKenzie. Their testimonies painted a violent, bloody picture of the crew's business, making Heatley's downfall feel less like an if and more like a...
Listen. These are lessons, documentaries about stories like this. It lets you know it's not even worth it. They know everything about you. They know what you can do now. Now, the people that first got away with it when they first started serving and selling, that's when it was the best. Where they didn't have any laws set up to stop it. So they was getting that bread and getting it quick. And everybody gets greedy. Like, once anybody gets more money than they ever had in their life, they're gonna start to get greedy. Because in everybody's head is to get more. You hear the Elon Musk, the Bill Gates. You want to get more and more and more and more. You don't know when to stop. I'm never gonna stop. And then you say that. Once you have that in your head, you're either gonna be dead, deceased, unalived. You're gonna be unalived. I gotta choose other words now. I have to learn this as I go. Unalive. You're gonna be unalived, or you're going to be in jail for the rest of your life, or 20, 30, 40 years. Like, time is every human being's kryptonite. It's our time. It's like it's the worst thing ever nowadays. Probably not when you're young, but once you start hitting past 30, the game is on, man. I promise you. Once you hit 30, it's gonna fly. All these years, the little 10 years, and the internet and all of this is making it even more faster. Days is gone. Why would you want to waste them in jail? I swear to God. Like, what? Is you serious? I hate when I hear grown men say, well, jail taught me this and jail taught me that. If I didn't go to jail, I would have never been like this. That's crazy for you to say that and have niggas thinking that's what they got to do is go to jail. No, no, no. You was an idiot. Say that I was stupid. I was dumb. I didn't make the proper decisions. You have to make good decisions. Well, I ain't gonna say good decisions. You have to make the basic common sense decisions when you are a teenager walking amongst the society. Just out, anything that you have to do out and about. And it's not with your friends all the time. You have time to yourself. Like a lot of y'all do hang around your friends all day, every day because you guys just don't know where else to go. You can't go nowhere. So I'm not talking about them. Time is of the essence. So don't waste it on stupidity and just doing silly things.
Win. Then came the fallout between Heatley's top lieutenants, Cuff and Anthony Boatwright. Both secretly plotted against the other, but Heatley sided with Cuff. Boatwright, an ex-military janitor who cleaned up murder scenes, was becoming too bold, even threatening other members. On March 21st, 1994, Heatley and Cuff lured him into the basement of Heatley's Bronx building. Cuff shot him in the head, and the crew dismembered his body, burning his head and arms to erase tattoos before dumping the remains in an abandoned Manhattan building. Later, Heatley had the parts moved to make them...
Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. Hey, just hearing that is just, come on, man. And this was years back, y'all. This is years back. So, you can just imagine. And basically what happened, he did that to Mitch and got his brother, and it's a lot of cutting and doing all that, saying all and it's not even, I hate that, because them and they guidelines, whenever you hear that stuff, because I know them, boy, they be too strict on a lot of things. And it be already on their platform already, so I don't understand that. But let's get past that a little bit.
Under a microscope, linking them to nearly 45 murders.
All right. Hit the like button. If you want me to do another video, comment. What do you want me to react to? The reaction can't be all day. Now, I can go live and go over other things, but right now, I'm doing reaction videos. Keep my algorithm going. And that's just what it is. So I'm about to go live again. Listen, I'm about to go live again. Hit the like button. I'm about to react to another video. I just don't know what. I don't know. I was going to do basketball. I was going to do the 90s basketball. I don't know, pick certain people. I was gonna do Anthony Hardaway, but Penny Hardaway, I was gonna do him. But I don't know if everybody liked that. I was gonna do a reaction on all the moves. Matter of fact, I might just do that anyway. So the next video, I don't even care. I'm keeping it's always gonna be something different. So it don't stop. Remember, the content don't stop. So if I do a video that you don't like, you just wait, look forward to the next video that's coming. So I'm gonna try to keep this going multiple times a day. Mac Mula, Anton Daniels, they say you gotta do at least 10 videos a day. And they do 10 a day off multiple channels. I don't think I can do it with one channel. Just 10 videos, gonna be a lot of crap videos. And it's not gonna be good. I don't think it's gonna be good if I'm doing that many videos one day. So I like to pick what I want to do. But hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell.
When a crew member flipped, Heatley, Cuff, and 2 others tried snatching him outside a courthouse. Police intercepted their van, finding masks, pipes, duct tape, and rope.
Oh yeah, it's over with. So they basically got Heatley and the janitor crew. They got the whole little crew, locked them up. He ended up snitching like they all do. The killers of the killers always gonna tell. I'm telling you. So you with your guys, you're doing. Oh yeah, they're gonna tell on you, especially if they've been in and out of jail. So they may look. Oh yeah, this nigga ain't been. So I'm telling you, that's how it goes. Don't be stupid. Don't be a dummy. A lot of my content do be learning lessons on what not to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. This is Beep TV 1. This dude, preacher, Black Hand, he was something else, y'all. And you see what happens at the end. Like